Cancer, what's happening? Time to knock out your bonus reading for the month of July. Bonus time for Cancer, bonus time. I like bonuses. I do them to pick up on details that I missed in the main monthly. That's the intention I put behind my bonus readings, okay? No, that's not always what comes through, but I gotta put some kind of intention behind the readings. If you'd like information on scheduling a personal reading, which as of now, I am accepting same-day readings only, that information is in the description of the video. And don't forget to slide by Instagram and give Leah's new crystal page a follow. Okay? It's called Cheetah Crystals. She makes and sells really impressive crystal jewelry. You don't want to miss out on that. That's in the description of the video as well. And my Cancers are showing up to the chat pretty quick. That's cool. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Cancer. Let's see what we got for you. How y'all doing, man? How's this Mercury retrograde treating y'all? Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was feeling... I'm not gonna say I was getting cocky about it a little bit, but I was actually saying, dude, this retrograde is, for the most part, being kind of nice. You know, compared to some other retrogrades that are just absolutely debilitating, this one's been kind of nice. And then here over the past couple of days, I've really felt the, brain in a taffy puller type of energy, and it's just been like, Other than that, though, I would say this Mercury retrograde has been more generous than others. Happy birthday, Amanda. Thanks for showing up. What do we got for my Cancers? What do we got? And happy birthday to all my Cancers, by the way. We are in Cancer season. What do we got for my Cancerians? We're all on the right path, Lisa. There is no right path, wrong path, y'all. There are paths and experiences. Paths and experiences. Okay? I learned that because it includes homelessness, living under bridges, eating out of trash cans. And it would have been real easy at any given time to look at me and say, he went down the wrong path. Dude, right now, I wouldn't go back and change that path for nothing. No, that was a very necessary path in my journey. Oh, yes, it was. So think about that, y'all. There are paths and experiences. 5 shuffles for your first spread. 1, 2, 3, and 2 more shuffles. Boom! The High Priestess reversed them. Okay, so in regards to this situation here, I think a lot of you have been having a difficult time figuring out what your intuition is telling you. A very difficult time. See, that's the thing about water energy, okay? It's challenging. Every sign and every element has a list of challenges that come along with it, and it's our responsibility as individuals to identify and surmount those challenges. As a water sign, you can either be the most intuitive person on the planet or the least intuitive person on the planet. Okay, thanks for that super chat, Marilla. Thank you, appreciate it. Because emotions are a secondary response to intuition, and water is very emotional, right? So with that secondary response, unless you're really, really, really in tune to distinguish the difference between ego and intuition, sometimes the emotional ego response can be so loud, it blinds you and you don't remember what your intuition was telling you, And also, too, your intuition could be telling you something that your emotions don't like. You never really know, but I think a lot of you have been having a difficult time figuring out exactly what's going on inside, right? Mercury retrograde doesn't help, right? I think people from the outside looking in are perceiving you as kind of hanging around maybe and waiting on, waiting on the right time, waiting on a person. I think a lot of you are waiting on a person. I don't know if you're waiting on hearing from a person you're in separation from, or if you're waiting on, like if you're involved with a person right now and maybe waiting for them to take things to the next level. On the inside, you feel like 8 of Cups in the reverse. I think a lot of you are waiting on a past person to return. Okay, a lot of you. Again, some of you too could be waiting to figure out whether or not you should walk away from something. Okay, take it as it resonates. And to be honest with you, I think I'm pulling in your energy too, because I'm having a hard time figuring out what my intuition is telling me about this. But more likely than not, I think a lot of you are waiting on a past person to return. If not, you're waiting on trying to figure out whether or not you should walk away from something. Okay? We'll see though, we'll see. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the spread laid out before I stick my foot in my mouth. I don't want to do that. All right, the person you're dealing with, yeah, I think you're dealing with somebody who's very closed off. I see some conflict here too. Okay? And I see a massive loss of passion. I think this person does want to come together with you. I don't think they want to separate. But the problem is they're ignoring. They need to do some inner work. The person you're dealing with has massive inner work that needs to be done, and they're ignoring it. Okay? And don't we all just want to ignore them? None of us want to do inner work. Come on now. It's no fun. We have to do it though. I do. You do. Everybody. We all have inner work to do. All day, every day. Okay? Now, people like me with a really heavy Virgo influence can be a little bit hard on ourselves with our inner work, but regardless, we still all have to do inner work all day, every day, okay? And this person really doesn't want to do that inner work, okay? And I think that is the majority of the reason why the conflict either happens or has happened in the past, right? So it could be a Taurus that you're dealing with, but I think a lot of you, you're closed off. Some of you don't even really have too much emotion left to give. Okay, you have emotion. Okay, as a water sign, it's not like you don't have emotion. You still have emotion. There's none left to give to this person, because anymore it's getting to the point where you're no longer nervous about this. You're not losing sleep about it. It's not keeping you up at night anymore. But I think you're starting to come to terms with the fact that I just don't think that there's stability and growth between the two of you. Not really. So for those of you who are actually in separation with this person, I think that you're kind of drawing the conclusion that, again, you're kind of hanging around waiting, like, I don't think I want to do this again. Those of you who are not in separation with this person, you're leaning towards separating, right? That energy, it just depends on what you actually have going on here. But I see communication here, but the way you all communicate is very, like, I don't want to say cold and closed off, but very practical and it's almost routine-like now, when it gets to the point to where we begin a connection with that real heavy, emotional, and then after a while, that spark dies down. And now, what are we doing? We're just like friends. This is just a routine, okay? We got into this real heavy routine. Now it's just habit. Now the routine, the habitual part of us has taken over, and now we're just following a script, play by play. We just wrote this little script, and we're just doing this act every day. It's kind of hollow and shallow, if that makes any sense. Well, let's look at the person you're dealing with. I don't even know what I want to title this yet. Does anybody got a good idea for the title of this reading? Let me know in the comments. What should I title this reading? Person Cancer is dealing with here. This deck doesn't want to. Man, come on, man. Person Cancer is dealing with. I got 9 decks of tarot cards here. And I would like to give most of them away for my 200K giveaway. I'll be announcing that soon. I think once I hit 199K, I'm going to announce the 200K giveaway. Those of you new to my channel, I do a giveaway every 50,000 milestone. So I'm about to hit 200K in under 2 years, which to me, I think is a pretty good accomplishment. I'm not the highest subscribed tarot reader, but I definitely moved up pretty damn quick. I haven't even been doing this for 2 years yet, and I'm about to hit 200K, so I think that's pretty good. I'm going to do a massive giveaway. Let's get 4 shuffles for the person Cancer is dealing with. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. the road. That's cool. We'll see. I might do that. I might do that. Ooh, the Hermit. Could be a Virgo that you're dealing with. Could definitely be an earth sign. See, they miss you and they feel the connection here. But this person, I think that they're the practical type, right? They want to approach this and they want that practical sense of independence, you know, and it just feels like that's one of the things that you get whenever you deal with that really, really stern, cold earth energy, even if you're not dealing with an earth sign. Because 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Could be blocked communication here. I do think that those of you who are in separation with this person, they do want to reach out. I do think that they are more than likely going to reach out. It's hard to say how far that's going to go because in the heart of the spread is the Knight of Swords reverse. You do have Page of Wands and Cups. You could be dealing with somebody who's a little bit too immature too, honestly. At least emotionally. You know, when it comes to actual, like they see themselves as a king, but they're the King of Pentacles, okay? Like you get that a lot too, especially with men, okay? Because men, those of you who are dealing with a man, okay, I know not everybody here is dealing with a man, but those of you who are dealing with a man, you get that a lot with really low vibrational masculine energy where most men are raised to where no emotion, you just have to be the provider. You have to provide things, right? That's what most men are raised and programmed. You have to make money. So most dudes are raised and programmed to believe that they have to shove all their emotion down. Fuck emotion. I have to build an empire and I have to acquire a lot of things, right? I have to acquire lots of things and that's all I care about is my job and my money, right? So if that doesn't resonate, don't worry about it. But I know there are some people dealing with a person like that. Either way though, when it comes to love, when it comes to matters of the heart, I think this person is probably just a little bit too immature, okay? They're not really 100% sure what they're doing, but they do miss you and they do feel the connection very deeply. Very, very deeply. Some of you could be dealing with a twin flame here, and I don't say that very often, okay? But if you come to me for a personal reading and you ask about a twin flame, if I put that intention into the reading, this is the card I'm looking for, okay? Could be a Gemini that you're dealing with, but they like to keep it to themselves. I don't really think they like to express a whole lot of how they feel, right? So again, it's hard to say because I see communication here, but I also see, I don't really know, maybe they want to communicate, but they're not going to. Maybe they try to communicate and you just reject it, okay? Maybe it is the end of the road, like that person said. Well, what should I read next? What's the next spread? First of all, what deck? How about this one? Oh, good old-fashioned Universal Rider-Waite. One of my all-time favorites. Universal Rider-Waite. Love this one. Well, let's see timeline moving forward. Most likely outcome as it rests in this moment, which is always subject to change. What outcome do we have, universe? As it rests in the moment, which is always subject to change. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That is one of the most important things anybody could ever understand when coming to any type of person who reads tarot cards or psychic readings or anything like that. Okay? This is the energy resting in the current moment. Unless you make the decision to change the outcome, which you can do, okay? And more often than not, since I'm a law of attraction expert, I will give you the tools to change the outcome and advocate that you do, okay? Okay. 8 of Wands here. Some of y'all could be dealing with somebody who's at a distance from you. Some of you could be traveling, okay? Let's get 4 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I think for a lot of you, it's just that because time and space are illusions anyways. So even if this person is not at a distance from you, I think there's definitely an emotional or psychological distance. Yeah, you're starting a new cycle here. So done, Dwala, done, Dwala. Okay. I see an attempted reconciliation here, but I don't see it being successful. Okay. I see this person's energy it's going to take a while to shake this person's energy. Okay, I see you starting something new, totally new. But I think for the most part, you're keeping this to yourself. Okay, the path that you're headed down now, you're losing interest as far as love goes. But see, that connection, that spiritual connection penetrates deeper than any emotions, than any romance, than any human concepts that we even have the language to describe a connection that deep, right? You know what I'm talking about? Those of you who have experienced a real intense spiritual connection, there are no words for it, okay? And it's going to take a minute to shake this. And I think it's by design, okay? Because you have the Judgment next to the Lover's card, okay? So one type of connection that I've never really heard too many people talk about. Thanks for that super chat, Flor Martinez. Thank you. And thanks for the positive feedback. There is a very specific kind of connection that happens more often than not, okay? And that's the type of connection where you come together, and if you split apart from this person, their energy is meant to stick to you. Their energy is meant to stick to you for a while. Those of you dealing with somebody, and I know there's a couple of you in here dealing with somebody that you have not been in contact with for a while, but you cannot shake their energy. That is because their energy was meant to stick to you, because it is pulling you down a very specific path that you would not otherwise take if left to your own devices, okay? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And all you have to do is just say, okay, universe, I can't wait until you finally show me what the meaning of this connection was, okay? And you'll see. As long as you believe that one of these days you'll look back and completely understand why it had to happen, you will, okay? That's all you have to do. You don't have to search for it and wait. You'll see it, okay? Just rest assured. But yeah, I think for the most part, you are successfully detaching yourself from this emotionally. But I do think that you are going to, by the time you completely let go, I do think that you are going to deal with an attempted reconciliation. But again, as that person in the comments mentioned, end of the road. It's the end of the road. And I think that I am going to title that, okay? That's what I'm going to make the title of this reading, because you're getting over this. Done, dollar, done, done, dollar, done, dollar, done, done, dollar. Okay? So, we're at 17 minutes. Man, that went quick. Wow, that went quick. Why is that going by so fast? Time is going by fast, boy. All right, well, things to watch out for and advice moving forward. Things to watch out for and advice moving forward. And this is for anybody. This is for anybody, okay? Cancer, cross watcher, 7 of Cups. Watch out for people who are constantly on the lookout for external solutions to internal problems, okay? That's what's happening in this card right here. This dude is completely dark and void of love, wondering which one of these cups is going to fulfill him from the outside. Let's get 7 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Boom, King of Wands. Watch out for people who are sticking to mud, man. All right, don't know when to like take a joke. Don't know when to loosen up and have a good time. You know, that person is just always so serious all the time. Always so serious, you know, especially if you're dealing with a fire sign, okay? Love my fire signs to death, but one big fire, I don't care if the person's a fire sign or not, but one, if you are harnessing too much fire energy, one of the kind of mistakes that it can lead you to do is like you don't want to open up and be vulnerable, you know? You know what I mean? Like, no matter what I do, I could have just made the dumbest fucking mistake in the world, but I'm going to pretend that I don't care and I'm confident with what I just did and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to admit my mistakes and open up and express any vulnerability. Watch out for that, okay? Right now, it's time for you to do the best you can to become the awareness behind your emotions and your thoughts, okay? Do not become your thoughts and emotions. Become the awareness behind them. Observe your thoughts and your emotions, okay? And think about what it is that you really want to commit to, okay? All those energies of like commitment, loyalty, tenacity, stubbornness, those are all great energies if focused in the right direction, okay? If you can be loyal to the wrong thing, that's not good. It's not good, okay? So just take a second look at those things. Watch out for manipulative people, okay? And don't be manipulative, okay? If you have to make a person feel a certain way, like if you're talking to a person, if you have a conversation going on and you disagree with somebody, and the first thing they start doing is poking at your emotions to try to sway you to believe in what they believe, that's a problem. That's a problem, okay? If you disagree with me, I'm not gonna poke at your emotions. I don't give a shit how you feel. You know what I mean? Like if you disagree with me, okay, well, let's talk about it. Okay, how did you draw your conclusion? What are your sources? What are your resources? I don't care what you think, I care how you drew your conclusion. Okay, you know those people that like to pick and poke at your emotions to try to sway you over to their side. It's a fucking problem. Don't do that, and watch out for people who do. Last but not least, watch out for people who refuse to open up and speak their mind. Okay, you know? Oh, so what are you thinking about? What's going on? They won't open up, and they won't talk, that's a problem. Okay, well you can't talk to me about what's going on with you, I'm gonna distance myself from you. Okay? Digging what I'm saying? Anyway, I feel like the messages my Kansas Cityans needed to hear have come through. I greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in and played along. Thank you all so much for the likes, the comments, the super chats, and all that good jazz. I will turn your attention again to the description of the video where you can find information on scheduling personal readings, which again, same day readings only right now. And Instagram, go give Leah's page a follow, okay? She's working on some new things, adding some new projects to the page. It's gonna be awesome. You don't wanna miss out on that. But until next time, I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity, okay? Have a good one.